Hey guys! I've been really looking forward to doing this video for quite some time now. I've been reading some awesome middle grade graphic novels and I've just been dying to like talk about them and share them with people. So I'm really excited about this. I have a lot here, but I'll go through them quickly and I'll tell you a little bit about them, and hopefully you'll pick some up because I think they're all great. My first book I have here is Guts by Reina Telgemeier, and this book was so good. It is about childhood anxiety essentially, and it's sort of memoir-esque, and the main character Reina, she's in middle school and she's going through, she has like these stomach issues at the beginning of the book and it leads to like other things, and she has to go to therapy and all this stuff, but it was just so touching. There's stuff about friendship in here, about food, about kind of those weird, awkward middle school moments, and yeah, it was so beautiful, so good. I highly recommend this. And Sally and Kelly have also told me to go read her other books, like Ghosts and Smile and Braces, I believe. So yeah, I'm really excited to dive into all her other stuff, but highly recommend this one. My second graphic novel recommendation is Stargazing by Jen Wang. Jen Wang wrote The Prince and the Dressmaker, which was so good. I believe it's YA, but I've given it to some of my middle grade cousins and they also really liked it. But this book is for 8 to 12-year-olds and I loved it. It is about two girls, Moon and Christine, and they both come from the same ethnic background. They're both Chinese American, but it talks about how even though you come from the same ethnic background, how diverse and different your lives can be. And I think she just did such a great job like capturing that and capturing those like little moments in middle school, and she deals with like kind of childhood jealousy sometimes, or like sometimes mean things that like kids can do, but they're still really good at heart. Yeah, this was fantastic and I really recommend this. Also, the art was beautiful in here. The third book that I have on my list is Best Friends by Shannon, Hale and LeUyen, Pham. This one I actually just read today, like sitting at my desk. Sally just had it. She just took it out from the library and I was like, ooh, looks interesting. And boy was this good. This is also kind of like a memoir-esque novel. The main character, Shannon, is just entering grade 6 and she is friends with like the most popular girls in school, but she kind of is still figuring out some of those like unwritten rules, like there's all these like rules that keep changing and she doesn't know what to do, and there's all this drama among the girls at her school, and it just felt so real, and some parts were like so cringy, like I was like, oh, I'm so happy that I don't have to deal with this, but also like it just felt so real and true, and yeah, I feel like a lot of kids could relate with this book, and the issues in this book. I would probably recommend this for like older middle grade readers, just because there's just things like first boyfriends and first kisses and things like that, but I really enjoyed this. Highly recommend. My next book is Be Prepared by Vera, Brosgal. And again, I would also recommend this probably for like older middle grade readers, but it is about a girl who gets sent to Russian summer camp, and it is so funny, and so relatable, so relatable, and also like the art is just stunning. I love this type of like color scheme, where it's just a few colors, but it's very emotional and very good. I highly recommend this too. Okay, my final contemporary middle grade book is Aldolpho by Cece Bell. I wish I had a copy of this with me, but I had to give it back to the library. And that book was just so heartwarming, and it was about a girl who is deaf and kind of just like what her life is like. It spans like quite a few years of her young life, from the time that she's like in preschool to like I believe middle school. And I learned so much about what it is like being deaf, things that like I didn't even know, like some biases that even I had. So yeah, it was a really good book. It's also memoir-esque. Yeah, and I highly recommend it. And the drawings were so beautiful. Okay, so that is it for my kind of contemporary middle grade list. Now let's go into fantasy, because that's always fun. This was our Pact by Ryan Andrews. I love this book so much. I gifted it 3 times in the past month, and I've read it like more than 5 or 6 times. I think the art in this book is so stunning. It's such an experience to like flip through the pages and go through the story. It's so beautiful, and the characters are awesome. Yeah, it's beautiful. It has kind of like Studio Ghibli vibes to it, and some like Stranger Things vibe to it as well. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it too much, because like what happens in this book was so unexpected for me. Like I was all of a sudden like transported into like a whole different story that I didn't expect it to go. So I'll just like leave it up to you to read it, but this was so good. My next book is called Pilu of the Woods, or Pilu of the Woods. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce it, by Mai K. Nguyen. And this was such a cute read for me. I I was crying by the end of it. But basically it's about a girl, Willow, and she loses her mom, and she's like dealing with the grief. And she gets into a fight with her sister, and she runs away into the woods. And in the woods she meets this like forest spirit or tree spirit named Pilu or Pilu, not sure. And yeah, and they go on an adventure together. And this book is really about how to deal with your emotions and how to express your emotions. And it's something I've never really read before. And it was really good, and I really related to it, because I'm someone who like sometimes doesn't deal with their emotions very well, or like doesn't like really talk about their emotions. So I thought this book was really well done, and yeah, and the art is stunning. I want to just like take print, like almost like photocopy or scan pages and like put them up on my wall, because it's so beautiful. My next recommendation is the Amulet series. This series has been on my radar for quite some time. The first book came out years ago, but I just like never got around to reading it till recently, and I've just been like flying through the series. There's so many books in the series. I think there's 8 or maybe 9. I'm not sure, but I'm on book 5, and it's so good. I love the art. I think the world building is so cool. All the different characters and the creatures in this world are just amazing. Yeah, I really recommend this fantasy series. One thing I really love about this is that the mom is in the story. Usually in kids' books, like the parents kind of like are not in the picture, but I like that in this book, the mom stays in the series, and she's kind of part of the adventure, at least so far. So yeah, really like these series. So second last book recommendation is the Gravity Falls Lost Legends graphic novel. So if you're a fan of Gravity Falls, I really recommend this book. I love this show. And I just thought this graphic novel was perfect. It's like written and it's made by the creator of the show, so that makes it even better. But I have not laughed out loud from a book in so like this much in so long. Every single page was just perfect, and it was just so funny, and yeah, it was great. I don't think you need to watch the show to be able to enjoy this, but I think it will help. But yeah, it's so funny. Last recommendation is the Wizard of Oz graphic novel series. It's published by Marvel, and it's by Eric Shanower. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And he just does such a great job with this series. The illustration is so beautiful. I've never actually read The Wizard of Oz's like original stories, but I feel like I don't have to after reading these graphic novels. He's such a huge fan of it, and it stays so true to the story apparently. And yeah, I love the series. And if you're a fan of the movie, I would also recommend it. Yeah, it's great. If you have any more recommendations for middle grade graphic novels, leave them below in the comments. I'm always on the lookout. I always want to be reading more. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Yeah, so that's it for me. Happy reading and stay awesome.